Hey guys, it's Vanessa here, and today I'm going to show you how to cinch in your cuffs from this to this. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So these are my sleeves right here. By the way, these are the sleeves of my rainbow sweater. I'm going to leave the link in the description box for the tutorial of this sweater. So I'm just showing you how I did cinch in my sleeves to the cuffs. So I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods on how to do this, but this first part of the video is a general way or general format that you must do in order to get to the 3 methods. So first you're going to have to either sew or single crochet your cuffs, shut so they're a circle. As you can see, I'm just single crocheting mine closed. So whatever you're doing, whether you're sewing it or you're single crocheting, it depends on you. Okay, so you're just going to turn your cuffs to the right side, and you are going to find you some stitch markers. You need to mark your work. This part is very important. So go ahead and get 4 stitch markers. Put the first stitch marker where you just sewed your work or where the seam of your cuff is. Insert the first stitch marker there. Insert the second stitch marker directly opposite that first stitch marker. Now you're going to open your cuff in a way that both stitch markers are going to be touching each other, and at those 2 ends you are going to go ahead and put your remaining 2 stitch markers. Now, whatever I have done on my cuff, I'm going to do the same thing on my sleeve, and I am going to be attaching the cuff to the sleeve immediately. So we're going to start with the part where our seam is. So you're going to go ahead and attach your stitch marker of where the seam is to where the seam is of the, just match both seams of the cuff and the sleeves together. And you're just going to go ahead and use the same method to match both of your seams and all, all the 4 sides of your cuff and your sleeve. So go ahead and match them, then secure them with your stitch markers. So like I said, this first part is just like the beginning part. This isn't like the beginning of each method. This is just a general part that each method has. So we're just going to go ahead into the first method, which is using the mattress stitch, and this method is going to be worked on the right side of your work. So your work is supposed to be on the right side. Make sure you take note, and we are going to simply work the mattress stitch. So the mattress stitch is very simple. First, I am going to insert my needle. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and say that the first 2 methods you're going to sew. These first 2 methods are going to need a needle and of course yarn that you have put into the needle, and you're just going to sew back and forth your work. Like I said, this is worked on the right side of the project. I had a tutorial on my channel for this, but it seems like people were still confused, so I decided to do it again. So as you can see, I'm just going to be working back and forth, and if your cuff is way smaller than your sleeve, make sure you're going to be taking a very little amount from your cuff and you're going to skip more stitches on your sleeve. So you're just going to do this for a while, then you're just going to go ahead and pull your project shut. As you can see, the rope or the yarn is still showing, but when you pull it like so, it closes up. As you can see, my cuff, by the time I get to my next stitch marker, my cuff and my sleeve, I'm going to reach both ends at the same time. So you're just going to go back and forth the way I am showing, and when you've gone far enough that you're comfortable with, you're just going to pull it shut like so. So that is the mattress stitch. It's a very easy stitch. Like I said, this stitch is worked on the right side of your project. Now for the second method, we are going to work this method on the wrong side of our project. So go ahead and flip your project to the wrong side like the way I am doing. I don't have a name for this method, but you're just going to watch and see what I am doing, of course. So basically I still have, my beginning with my 4 stitch markers holding the cuff and the sleeves together, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up my needle. Like I said, the first and the second method we are going to be sewing. Now you're just going to knot your thread, and you're going to insert your needle and knot it to the cuff. Just go ahead and knot your yarn to the cuff, and you are going to be going back and forth like you do the mattress stitch, but you are going to be closing the stitch immediately. You are going to be closing you're going to be pulling the seam short immediately. So it's not like the mattress stitch where you go further in front then you pull it. No, you're just going to pull this shut immediately. And like I said, if your cuff is way smaller and your sleeve is very balloony, you are going to skip some stitches obviously on your sleeve, and you might have some repeats on your cuff. So all of this just depends, but whatever I am doing here, as you can see, I am still going to arrive at my next stitch marker, which shows that my sleeve and my cuff are at the same place, and they're going to be equal. As you can see, the front is seamless. So our third method involves the single crochet. So obviously you're going to need your crochet hook for this project, and this is going to be worked on the wrong side of your project obviously. So I am going to start by inserting my crochet hook where the 2 seams meet. That is that of the sleeve and that of the cuff, and I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet around. And in order to cinch in your cuff and your sleeve using this method, know that you are going to either skip some stitches in the sleeve, and you're going to have repeat of some stitches in your cuff. So if you have stitches, if you single crochet in stitches 1, 2 and 3, know that when you're connecting to the cuff, you might want to do that on 1 stitch for the cuff. I don't know if that made sense, but as you're going with the help of your stitch markers, you're going to know how to adjust your work obviously in order for it to suit you. So you're just going to go ahead and single crochet. I just reached my stitch marker obviously, and as you can see, it is perfectly aligned. So this is why you need to have these 4 points of your stitch markers. It is very helpful, trust me. So this is our sleeve that we have completed. So I usually switch between the methods. I don't have a particular one that I use, but anyway, that's it for this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the rainbow sweater, and I'll see you in my next video.